What up, what up, what up, what up, bro? Listen to Your Friends, episode 2.
What up? Like he just said, this is episode 2. This is Justin Bird. Thank you for listening. If you are someone listening.
Back again, Vince Davila here.
And what's going on, man?
Man, what's up? Let's get right into it. What are we talking about? What's been bothering me?
Something's bothering you?
Yeah, something's been bothering me. I think we touched a little bit on it. I don't know if it was on the last episode or if it was just when we were talking, but that whole issue with those kids, and was it in Washington D.C. or Kentucky or something, where they
Jarvis, shut up.
Where they the kids with the MAGA hats on.
Oh yeah,
in front of the Native American dude.
So did you hear the newest story on that?
I don't know. I've heard a few different things
I heard
on it.
so the first video they released was a very short edited video.
Right.
And then the newest video that they released shows the Native American guy actually is provoking it and starting it.
Right. It shows him like approaching the kids.
And you know what? I saw that and I was like, yeah, fuck me.
Yeah.
Because I was like everyone else where I immediately
sure.
saw that video and I was like, fuck that kid.
The smirk on his face and
but they sold
the
it
whole
as
context of the video, like
I feel like they intentionally did that.
And the way, well, yeah, people in the media have been apologizing for jumping on to a quick story and jumping on immediately, assuming that these kids in Make America Great Again hats with these smirks on their face in front of an older Native American dude were being racist or whatever. There were reports saying that the kids were chanting "Build that wall," which when the 2-hour video came out, they never said any of that. And I mean, I was definitely one of the people that was like, I mean, of course I don't want to ruin these kids' lives, and there's people sending them death threats, which is insane.
Oh,
like,
there will always be death threats no matter what the fucking situation is.
For real.
Like someone is going to threaten your life.
They're sending all these death threats to everybody.
Well, okay, so I mean, first of all, I think he was like 15, something like that, 15, 16, somewhere around that age.
This whole issue,
and
man.
all teenage boys are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are.
Right.
I mean, I know there are exceptions, but and that look on his face without any context, you're just like, yeah, fuck that kid.
Yeah.
Like I already know all about him.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you jump to the conclusions. This is a little entitled, snotty-nosed little brat, getting in the face of some guy trying to protest something. And they're all protesting something. I don't agree with what those kids were there to protest, but they're from a Catholic school, and they're there to protest against abortion, apparently. It's from what I've heard.
Well, that's what it was?
What can I... Yeah, that's what...
I thought they were there for the wall thing.
I don't know. See, it's hard to even
Either
know
way,
what's true. It's hard to even know what's true.
I believe
the first
they
story
were.
That came out was bullshit.
I believe the crowd that he was with, the crowd of boys, was essentially like chanting "Build that wall."
Right.
I think that's what they were.
I mean, and whether or not they were being rude or offensive or getting in the face of the Native American guy, and apparently there was another group of black. There's like the Black Israelites or something.
Yes, and they were actually the ones
yelling
I think
insults at the boys.
Yeah, they were the most inflammatory.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, I think they were doing like shouting like homosexual stuff and just terrible stuff that you would think that they're shouting.
Right. And then there was another video that came out of just some like a girl, like a younger, like a college age girl maybe, walking past the group of guys and them like jeering at her and yelling things at her, and her friends like rolling their eyes and being like, these kids are out of control, like type of thing. But that wasn't related. That was like either before or after the whole thing with the Native American guy. It was just like more video that came out on, someone posted on Twitter or something. But it's just crazy how fast the narrative came out about them, and then how fast it switched, and reporters and media started backpedaling, and how fast people were ready to jump on these kids and dox them and get their personal information and try to find them and like get them expelled from school and all this stuff. Like, that is just, I think it's such a great
getting expelled
example.
From school is way too far.
Way too far.
It's like, come on.
This whole situation is such a great example, like a microcosm of race relations in America right now, though.
Yes.
Like this whole thing, the way it unfolded, the way the media portrayed it in the beginning, the backpedaling, and and just the fact that there's apologists on both sides. I don't think anyone needs to apologize for these kids, and no one needs to apologize for the Native American guy. Like, it's just a misunderstanding, and
it's all a misunderstanding. Every problem ever has been a misunderstanding.
Yeah, right.
That's really all. That's what makes it so sad.
Yeah.
All of our issues with each other are literally just misunderstandings.
And people aren't willing to understand and to look deeper and to check their own prejudices. And I think it was a good lesson for me. And
I was going to say, it's kind of funny because this whole situation, when you step back and look at it, it is pretty much just a lesson in don't jump to conclusions. Right. You know what I mean? Because obviously, especially if you're a white male American, there's a tremendous amount of guilt that you're supposed to feel for Native Americans.
Right.
Which, if you bring it up, you do, of course. Like, it's horrible, and we had nothing to do with it, but yet they're still paying for it today for what our ancestors did.
Right.
And so we immediately want to side with the Native American.
Yeah.
Which, with the first video we got, obviously that's what you would do.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people know. A lot of people wouldn't want to immediately side with them. Would want to because of the symbol of the Make America Great Again.
Yeah.
Right? That is why it would have been really funny to see how it all unfolded if none of them were wearing those hats.
Yeah.
Like, to see what
it would have been way less.
Yeah. Or it would have been, there could have been on the other side, the conservative side, they might have been like, look at these kids getting in the face. They could have tried to paint them as liberals or something, getting in his face. You never know.
I can't understand why they would feel that it's acceptable to expel that kid from school.
Yeah, I know.
For a video.
But then when you dig
he didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, think of all the things that could have happened in that situation. Some guy is centimeters away from his face.
Right. If you dig deeper and look actually at the school he came from, that Catholic school, there's kids dressed in blackface at the basketball at the sports games and stuff, and I mean,
why?
I don't know, because they think it's funny, because it's like it's a counterculture thing right now in high school kids, I guess, to be offensive, to be not politically correct. And I feel like we were that way too. I was that way when I was a teenager. Sure. Like, a shock comedy was funny to me. And so even if I didn't actually hold like racist views, telling a racist joke to get a reaction out of somebody was like funny to me back then.
For sure, because when you're a teenager, you're testing the lines and the boundaries of what you can get away with.
But that's not these kids' fault. They go to an institution, a school, that should be making sure that doesn't happen. Parents, they have chaperones that should be making sure like it doesn't go that far. If the kids are telling black jokes or Mexican jokes to each other behind closed doors, like, of course they're going to do that. Teenagers are going to be teenagers, but you can't be letting your students dress in blackface. You can't be
at a basketball game.
And even this situation, even though the kid didn't necessarily, the main kid that was getting crucified for standing there smiling, didn't do anything wrong. The longer the situation progressed, and with the black Israelites yelling at the kids were saying inflammatory things back too, and they were doing like the tomahawk chop, which is apparently like a racially sensitive gesture from I don't know, I think the football team, the Redskins or the Braves I think is a baseball team, but it's like a thing that the Native American community doesn't condone, and they don't like people doing it. Like, it's kind of an offensive gesture to them, and the kids were like doing that at the guy, but at the same time the guy approached them, and these are teenage boys, who they're gonna be inflammatory back to you if you're getting in their face like that. So no one needs to be expelled. Obviously that's just a crazy reaction, but it's just such a interesting to try to view the situation from all sides. It's just a really interesting little microcosm of interaction between, and just really paints the picture of how unstable it is in our country, and how loud the extreme voices are on both sides. You have that extremist voice of these Make America Great Again racist kids are berating this poor old Native American man playing his drum peacefully, and then you have the other side just like, this is bullshit. These kids, they don't have any reason to Like, they have every right to be there. They shouldn't be feeling guilty. They shouldn't be getting persecuted. Like,
It almost seems like an isolated social experiment that was like sort of directed almost. What could possibly be a better social experiment than a white MAGA hat wearing boy teenager and an elderly Native American man beating a drum?
And then you got the black Israelites screaming profanities and slurs at them from the
It's
other
almost
side.
too good to be true, to be honest.
Really.
Like, but I don't know. I don't think many people are going to learn anything from this.
No, absolutely not. It's
They're
if
just going to
anything,
be
it's
upset.
just sad that it happened and got so much attention, and that so many people had to backpedal because of all of the issues with fake news going around, and people so worried about the media constantly being wrong. And I think there's some validity to the wanting to verify journalism and fact check and be sure that what a journalist or what a publication is telling you is factual and that they have their story straight.
Yeah.
It's absolutely valid to be critical and to be unsure of what they're reporting to you and make sure to check it for yourself. But it doesn't mean that you can just write off. People take it as an excuse to write off anything they don't agree with as fake news. Or if they don't want to believe it, then it must not be true. And instead of actually doing their due diligence and figuring out if the story has validity or if the facts check out, if the sources are reliable that the story is based on, they just, I don't like that opinion, that's fake news. Or I don't like the source of where that news is coming from, that's fake news.
Well, it's like we were talking about, I think we were talking about it off mic the other day, but it's people like to pick and choose.
Yeah.
They belong to a side.
Right.
And they like to pick and choose what things they want to remember about what they represent and what they want to forget and push under the rug. And if something comes out from under the rug, they'll do whatever they can to either ignore it or deflect or say like, okay, yeah, sure, maybe, but look what your side does, or that they'll
exactly.
You know what I mean?
What about this? What about that? Everyone does the same thing.
It's like, well, okay, that might be true, but also if we can't be honest with ourselves and be adult about all this shit and be truthful, then we both lose.
Right, rise above the emotional response.
It's all emotional.
It's the same as arguing even with a spouse or with a friend or coworker about something. If they do, they did something that in your eyes was wrong or that inconvenienced you, and so you bring it up to them, and they're like, well, what about when you leave the refrigerator door open every time? And it's just it's the same thing. It's their immediate response is to be defensive of themselves rather than to. I mean, I have that response. Everyone does. But
because being wrong is like the death of yourself,
right?
Of your ego.
Yeah, but the difference is you need to check that. Once you feel that, you need to stop and think, okay, this isn't reasonable for me to feel so defensive that, because they're right. I did leave my trash in the middle of the walkway or something like that. Yeah, but you don't want to feel wrong. So, and people are the same. It expands into the same thing with politics or religious belief or ideologies or whatever it may be, beliefs about even your diet, or what car is the best type of car.
Well, speaking of diet, so I have a situation that ties into this. It's not political at all, but it's just a situation where, you have to be honest with yourself or just say, is being right more important? You know what I mean? Or just continue fighting or whatever. Yeah. And this one time at work, we had hired this new girl, and she liked herself a lot, pretty much.
Standing in the mirror all the time, doing bicep curls.
She was very muscular. But I've been into, health and fitness pretty much my entire life. I don't know everything about it. Yeah. But I know a lot. And this girl was...
That's true. You do know a lot about... if I had any fitness questions and diet questions and workout questions, you definitely...
I know
my
enough.
List of people that I would come to. Yeah.
But she apparently, among a million other things that she does or has done in her life, that she's an expert on.
She's one of those people.
She was a personal trainer at LA Fitness, I guess, which I was in quotations. Yeah. I wasn't really, but I'm pretty sure that's what she was doing too. Same position where you're hired on as... you're not a licensed trainer, but you're there to train people. Yeah. It's sort of shady.
Right.
Nothing against LA Fitness.
New people come in and you like show them the ropes and try to get them.
I'm assuming that's what she did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but she was, I don't know how we even got into it, but she was like, yeah, your body burns muscle before it burns fat. That's why you need to do this and this and this. And I was like, I gotta disagree with you. Like, I wasn't even talking. I was letting them talk the entire time, not even saying a word. And I was like, okay, I don't think that that's true. And it doesn't even make sense from an evolutionary standpoint for your body to burn its muscle before it burns its fat, which is leftover stored energy.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even make sense. And everyone looked at me. There was all guys and then one blonde girl. So everyone looked at me and ganged up on me because they wanted to side with the one girl.
Yeah.
Is pretty much what was happening.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'll Google it on my phone. And unfortunately, the first thing that popped up was, yes, your body burns muscle before it burns fat. And I was like, fuck, maybe I am wrong.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm sorry. I apologized. And then I even went up to her later and was like, hey, I'm really sorry. I don't want you to think we can't be cool. You just got hired. I don't want to make it weird for you here. Like, I apologize for arguing with you about it.
Right.
And she was like, yeah, no worries. I mean, like, I was going to let you have that one, but okay. And I just walked away. And then I went home and I researched it and because I was furious about it.
Right. No, I know what you mean. I feel that happens to me too.
Every single source I looked into said I was right. But for some reason, when I looked it up on my phone, it said I was wrong. This one thing. Yeah. That's like what ties into what you're saying. Like, you got to check your sources.
Yeah, you need to check multiple sources.
But anyways, this shit bothered me for way too long. You can even ask Hannah. Like, I was fuming about it. I was like, fuck, because I have a personal training textbook, and I was gonna bring it to her and show her the page where it says she was wrong, and Hannah was like, you might sort of look like a psycho if you do that.
Right, at this point. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'll just let it go. So anyways, I let it go because I felt having good relations was more important than being right. Yeah, I guess.
And for your own sanity too. And because who gives a shit what that lady thinks? You know you're right. But I know exactly the thing. I get into arguments with people on Reddit sometimes, and it like will consume me for like a whole day.
And when you're not face to face with them, you can really say some shit.
I try not to be too inflammatory unless people are being mean to me. Like, people do on Reddit. They are very mean. They try to, anything they can do to get under your skin to try to get you to engage them on that level rather than on a level where we're debating.
Yeah.
I've had arguments and debates with people who, about, mostly I get really riled up with race stuff. People get so racist.
Yeah.
And it just riles me up so much, and I can't let it go. I can't scroll by comments where people are just saying something extremely racist.
I know, it's like, why?
Or homophobic or sexist or just a really wrong opinion about what, like, feminism or something. And when people try to just act like an entire thing is invalid. And so, I get into arguments with people a lot. And the people that I get into arguments with are just, it feels like they are refusing to see.
That's what's so frustrating about people like that. Yeah.
And they're citing me sources on like crime rates and why like black communities and why black culture glorifies crime and how that's just racially, like, they're genetically predisposed to being criminals. And I'm like, you're insane to say that. Like, I understand you're looking at certain statistics, you're cherry picking statistics out to try to make your point, but here's this information and here is these, these facts and these statistics, and this directly refutes what you're saying, and they refuse to acknowledge it, and then they just, they go to the next thing. It's that what about this type of thing.
Well, actually, on that note, there is did you hear about the DNA scientist? James Watson,
I think we talked.
His name is.
We talked about that.
I mean, he is stripped. So he is one of the co-founding scientists of the discovery of the double helix of DNA.
Yeah,
so
the
essentially,
structure of what our DNA.
Essentially, everything we know now about DNA, we kind of owe to that guy.
Yeah.
He's very old.
Yeah,
like
he's
at
90
death. He's at death's
93
door.
years old.
Yeah,
Of course, he's got
on his way
couple
out.
of racist thoughts in there rattling around.
But apparently he's being stripped of all of his honors because of things he said in a documentary.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched it yet, but I really want to watch it.
I think we talked about this last episode.
Did we? But
possibly.
But at the
or
same
it was
time,
off mic. I can't remember.
At the same time, I heard other scientists say this sort of stuff before about genetics.
Yeah.
And I obviously have no idea what's true and what's not true about that stuff. And I would like for none of it to be true, to be honest, because I feel like that would just cause a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's at a genetic level, or their brains or our brains. You know what I mean? And you don't want to believe those people. And it's like, why would I believe you? You don't know shit. Why would I even listen to you?
Right.
But then it's like, okay, well, who would you listen to? Would you listen to a scientist?
Right.
Would you listen to a guy who discovered the structure of DNA? I don't know. I gotta watch the documentary. But
to form a full, and that's the thing that I respect is being able to say I don't know, being able to say I don't have
know
enough
anything.
information yet. I know a lot of shit, but when I don't know something, I am totally willing to say I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Let me research it. If it's something I'm interested in, if someone's trying to bring something to me some information that they're telling me, and I'm like, I don't really know if that doesn't. My first instinct is to say I don't believe you. Yeah. But I'm not going to say that you're not right because I don't know enough about it. So if I'm interested enough, I'm going to go and figure out if you're right or not. Yeah. And I'm not going to come back and be an asshole about it and try to prove you wrong.
I'm not going to get pissed off or yell back at you. I'm not going to try to change
anyone's mind on anything, but I am totally okay with my ignorance in certain areas because I can't know everything. But when I do know something, when I have done my diligence and researched something and checked my prejudice at the door and checked whatever my hypothesis was, if it's proven wrong after researching, I'm willing to change it.
I'm fine with that.
And I don't think enough people are willing to actually honestly look at, and that's the biggest thing about science that is like the thing to me that makes me believe when scientists tell me climate change is real and that humans are contributing to it in a huge way. Yeah. Like, because they have had different hypotheses of why this is happening, and they've tested a lot of different ideas. Yeah. And all the different tests from most of the scientists are pointing to the same direction. And when you have a community of actual climatologists, not just a scientist, not just a medical doctor, not just someone with a degree in biology as a scientist, but people who specifically have made their careers out of studying climate. And 99% of them have tried and tested different hypotheses. Hypothesizes?
Yes, that's the one.
Hypothesize.
I think they leave it up to you.
Yeah. Anyway, you can just however many you want to do. They've tested them, and their results are all pointing in the same direction, and so I'm inclined to believe it. And so I will believe scientists, and I will believe someone who's educated on a subject. But if there's two climate scientists saying that it's not man-made, and there's 200,000, which obviously there's probably not even close to 200. Let's lower that number. If there's two climate scientists saying it's not human-made, and there's 200 climate scientists saying it is, I'm definitely inclined to believe the 200 over the two. But I'm still going to look into what the two have to say.
I want to hear what everyone thinks.
And if what they have to say makes more sense to me than what the 200 are saying, maybe I'll believe the two guys. But I think a lot of people have this inclination to agree with the marginalized. When they feel like their group, their opinion, their thought is not the thought of the masses, and then it's reinforced by another person, it makes them feel even more sure of their opinion because it makes them feel special. It makes them feel smarter than the average. It makes them feel, if everyone else is believing this and I'm in the small minority that believes the earth is flat, say, good God, they think that they have, and that's one of the things that draws people to that is they think that they are in on something that no one else is in on. So they feel smarter, and that's all it is they just feel in that one little way they feel superior to the train of thought of most people.
Well, and that's just ego, and it's the need to belong to something, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
And at the same time, when you say like, oh, well, what about these two scientists? What do they have to say? What if they're right? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel like, especially in the science community, how many times throughout history have the masses or the majority thought this one thing, yet one guy says, no, this is how it is.
Yeah.
And whether they're, exiled or punished or laughed at,
Galileo,
like there have been plenty of
Newton
cases
and,
throughout history where that one guy is actually right.
Right.
So I think that's the one thing about science that bothers me, how almost pompous they are about their what they know, in quotes. You know what I mean?
They're an insufferable bunch, that's for sure. And even like the publications, the way scientific publications are, is like a really, I've read comments and things on Reddit of from people saying that it's very drama filled and very high school-esque, the way that
I've heard that too.
The way that they get their stuff published and the way that they treat each other and the way that like the jostling for position and the jostling for social hierarchy for being the top scientist in a field or for having your research published in a certain publication or whatever, like, and they're all paywalled. It's all taxpayer funded research, and then you have to pay to even be able to read the findings of the research. And so there are actually activist groups or people trying to get, I don't know if it's legislation necessarily that they're trying to pass, but they're trying to get it so that scientific journals and research that gets published is actually available to the public. If the research was taxpayer funded, then it needs to be available not through a paywall. You shouldn't have to buy a subscription to the scientific journal to read their findings on whatever they've been studying.
Yeah, all information should be free.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think. I mean, what are we if we're not a society of informed?
It's the most valuable thing in our culture, in our economy today is information by far.
Right.
So that's why Facebook and Google and social media sites and the internet shit is so valuable, and tech is so valuable because it's all about information.
Well, yeah, because
information
is what carries us forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
like
China's
what we do with that
China's
information.
doing some crazy shit with information right now.
What China doing?
China's got, I don't know if it's an app on the phone or what it is necessarily. It's a program where people can tell how much debt the people around them are in. So if you're in a fucking noodle stand eating noodles and there's a dude next to you, the app on your phone can tell you if this dude owes the government a bunch of money, and you can like report the location of someone or shit like that. And like your social standing now, like it's like literally that episode of Black Mirror where the chick had that app where where your however many likes you had determined like what type of clubs you could get into, what type of car you could have, things like that. That's how it is. That's like what they're trying to implement now socially in China is you can't even get into this hotel because they'll scan your phone, your QR code or whatever on your phone. They'll be like, you are, you haven't paid your debts, or you haven't, you've had an arrest in your history, maybe anything like that. They have your whole social media and all of your information that's ever been collected online, and they can reference it before they let you in the door.
That's insane.
Yeah, that shit is, it's crazy. It's scary to me.
I mean, it's sort of already like that now with the internet. You just have to be wanting to find that stuff out.
Yeah.
Rather than having something on your phone where it's that easy.
That easy.
Yeah.
To just hop on Twitter and check the location of somebody and
that's
just
nuts.
Be like, that person owes the government money.
God.
It's I don't know, it's interesting to me because China's kind of on the cutting edge right now of AI too. I think I think because we suck with funding science lately in America. I think politically, from a spending standpoint, from the federal budget, like we aren't giving NASA fuck all for money to get. Who just landed on the dark side of the moon? Was that China? That just landed on the dark side of the moon. They're pushing ahead with AI, and I think I was just listening to this politician raging about the government shutdown, talking about how he's afraid we're going to lose the race for AI to China. Because
Well, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
We're not spending the money on scientific research like that. I mean, we spend a lot of money on the military though, and I have to assume that is tied in with the military budget. Are we not? Is the military not trying to build AI? I feel like that would be beneficial to them to be spending money on that.
Obviously, AI can be incorporated into our lives in many different ways.
Yeah.
But you're fucking naive if you don't think that the majority of AI research and advancement isn't going to be funneled directly into the military.
Right.
Shit, dude. When I played that VR at Wonderland where you hook up to the set and you have a gun.
Right.
I mean,
and we're shooting zombies that are running straight at us, and it looks real as fuck.
I mean, at some point, after everyone has one in their home, after it's just as common as a fucking PlayStation or whatever,
right?
After the hype calms down a little bit, it's going to be used in the military when it gets a little more advanced. Because look at what Boston Dynamics is already creating.
With those robots,
they can fucking do backflips and climb buildings
and jumping and
they can open doors and
climbing stairs, and you can't.
They can even shoot bullseyes with a pistol.
Right.
I mean, a robot.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is program it. This is the bullseye. Shoot it, and it's like, okay, got it. I'm a robot. You know what I mean? Like
I'll never forget.
And with VR, you can literally have only robotic soldiers on the battlefield, and they're all manned by people in a far off location.
Yep.
Looking through what the robot sees. And that's, I mean, essentially we could have, obviously no war would be better, but if we have the majority of our military on the ground is AI being manned with VR,
right?
Then essentially like no people would die in war.
Oh,
we would just see who kills the most robots.
Yeah, until the facility where
gets bombed.
Yeah, where all the guys are in their VR suits just gets bombed, and then 2,000 soldiers killed by one missile today because they were in a giant warehouse.
And then all the robots just fall over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like dominoes.
And I was thinking, would it cost more let's say you have a human soldier and an AI soldier. Does it cost more to house and train and feed the human constantly? Or does it cost more to have a robot soldier?
It's got to be way cheaper in the long run to build an army of robot soldiers.
I think so too, because I think even if
cost is probably ginormous.
But I don't think we give a fuck.
No, obviously.
You know what I mean?
Obviously we don't give a fuck. We spend trillions of dollars a year on military.
I think even if we don't have the money, technically, we're still going to make them.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be like, well, let's just do it anyways. You know what I mean? Because
I don't even know what money even fucking is anymore. How do we even?
We can just print it.
Our money is based on our military now.
We don't have the gold standard anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much money we print. We can have as much money as we want. All that matters is that we have the most bombs and the most aircraft carriers.
Whoever has the most fucking bullets.
Yeah.
And newest technology.
I don't know what else our power in the world is based on.
I don't know. I try not to think about it.
Our buying power, I guess, is all that, because we buy shit from other countries. China manufactures things and sells them to us. We buy them. We are just consumers. We are the world's shoppers, and we just buy shit from every other country, and they just make money off of us. And then I don't know. I'm getting into shit I don't understand. I'm talking about economics and.
I mean, yeah, pretty much anything I talk about, I'm not an expert on. I just
not a doctor.
I just talk about what I've heard or whatever. I dive into some stuff a little bit deeper, but
right. I mean, holler at your boy about aliens, bro. I know you know about that shit.
You know, maybe we'll talk about that on episode 3.
Whatever there is to know about aliens is up right.
Yeah, I've gone way deep on that stuff.
I think we're all aliens, man.
Well, you know, they think that octopi, octopussies, that they speculate that maybe they were seeded on Earth from an asteroid. Like they're not from
That'd be nice.
Earth.
I mean, the way they look at, I can understand why people would think that. And they're super fucking smart, dude. They're so smart. Why are octopi so smart?
When you watch those videos on them going through obstacle courses, or changing their fucking shape
Right.
and color
Well,
and
they
texture of their
observe
skin.
shit too. They look, they watch, and they make informed decisions and actions based on what they've observed.
I mean, they are just a completely different thing.
Yeah. And we never, like, just the fact that we know that about that creature, that human beings asked the question, how smart is an octopus?
Yeah.
Just the fact that we even wanted to know. And that there were people out there willing to, well, we're going to fucking find out. We're going to put this octopus through a
Let's
maze.
play with some octopi.
Yeah. It can't play Monopoly, but it can find the banana in the maze, so it's pretty smart. It's smarter than my kids.
And when I look at the octopus, when I looked at the octopus, you'd be lucky to have an octopus for a kid.
Dude, for real.
I mean, you can only hope one day.
I can only hope.
But when you look at an octopus change its shape entirely to where it doesn't look anything like an octopus anymore.
Yeah.
It looks like a rock or it looks
Right,
like a
and
reef. Scientists are looking at that going, all right, that thing can do that.
Yeah.
How do we harness that?
Right.
How do we replicate that and use it for
Right.
ourselves? Like what could we do with that?
Yeah.
If that thing, what it does sounds impossible.
Right.
No, nothing else can do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We haven't seen anything else usually that can do it the way an octopus does
Yeah,
it.
I mean, a chameleon can change its colors, but it can't just turn into a different. Like an octopus,
It
literally looks like a piece of reef.
It literally shape shifts.
Yeah.
I gotta wonder, like, can we somehow extract information from it that allows it to do that and replicate
There's
it?
definitely people working on it. I know there are.
I mean,
They're
damn.
out there, man. But
Damn. What if they just like could inject octopus DNA into a soldier and he just can morph into something else?
Yeah.
That'd be nuts.
That would be nuts. That would be some Animorphs shit. Was there an episode of Animorphs where they transformed into an octopus? I wonder. There was a lot of Animorphs.
I don't remember. I know I watched the
was the
shit out
horse,
of
there
that
was-
show
there
when
was
I
a-
was a kid,
yeah,
but
there was
I
a
don't
lot
remember
of
it.
The Boxcar Kids, Animorphs, the Magic Treehouse, Magic School Bus.
Magic School Bus.
Man. Oh, Goosebumps. Almost forgot Goosebumps. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Can't forget about that.
No, R.L. Stein. Genius.
Do you ever watch stuff from like back when we were kids? Like you just catch it on? You almost get this tingly feeling.
The feeling I had when I was so young. And
You know what it is weird about that?
Innocent
Like
and-
it kind of motivates me.
Yeah.
Because it makes me think back. I remember the feeling I had when I was that age.
Right. And I didn't. My brain was focused on things that I actually cared about and wanted to.
Yeah.
Constantly filled with like stress about work or bills or anxiety.
All the
about
things we have to
relationships
deal
and
with now.
Things like that.
It kind of motivates me because it makes me think. I remember how I felt back then when I see this.
Yeah.
It's like a flashback. And then it makes me think, oh, if I could meet myself as a kid right now and talk to him, how would he feel about where I'm at right now?
Yeah.
Like what I'm doing. I'd be nervous to meet myself as
I know,
a kid
right?
because he'd be like, bitch, what are you doing?
I don't know. Me as a kid would probably think I was cool as fuck, but he would also be like,
I mean, yeah, we're cool.
He'd also
We're
be
cool
like,
guys.
bro, you're definitely less successful than I'm supposed to be. But he's like, you're a cool dude, but
Yeah.
let's get a little work going. Stop
Something. I mean,
fucking laying around and playing so much video games. Although little me probably would be like, you get to play video games
Yeah.
every day? Like, well, as soon as you're done working, you just get to play video games all the time? Like,
you can
that's
do
fucking
whatever you
awesome.
want.
Bro, you have...
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah,
But
within
also, I
certain
kind of
parameters.
don't ever get to do what I want.
Yeah,
I spend most of my time doing stuff I don't want to do.
I had gummy bears and goldfish for dinner, but I also worked a 10-hour shift. So,
Well, goldfish is straight fuel, man.
yeah, I mean, pizza-flavored goldfish, though, can go to fucking hell and burn and never return for
Wow.
all I care. Pepperidge Farms, I don't even know if they make goldfish. I think they make goldfish. If you're hearing me right now, stop making pizza goldfish.
They're just like,
It's my only
fuck.
request.
It's like,
We're going to get a DMCA.
I was
fucking
thinking
notice
about this
that
for a
shit.
long time, and now I hear him say that. Let's just, we
Yeah.
got to shut it down. This is fucked up.
The funny thing is, I like the original goldfish, not the cheese
Me
ones,
too.
not the like cheddar cheese ones, but just the ones that are just taste like straight crackers. Those are so bomb. Just I don't know what that is.
Dude, you know
like
what
soup crackers?
The best crackers to me are fucking Wheat Thins.
Oh, I don't even like Wheat Thins. That's
Really?
weird. Yeah. I don't like Triscuits either. I don't
like Triscuits very much.
I like plain saltine crackers.
I kind of, for some reason, I love the healthier stuff. Not because it's healthy. Sugar cereals are a little too sugary for me.
Dude, it's crazy.
And honestly, like my favorite cereals are Raisin Bran and Honey Bunches of Oats.
Yeah, you've
like
always
that
been,
for me is like top.
70-year-old man.
It's weird, yeah. Or like Cheerios with bananas in it.
Yeah,
dude. Every day I can have that.
I gotta have my Pops. Gotta have my Apple Jacks.
Call them
up. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I like sugary cereals, but it is too much. I'll eat like one bowl out of a box of Captain Crunch because it sounds so good to me. And then
Captain Crunch is good.
Halfway through the bowl, though, I'm just like, okay, I'm eating sugar Pops out of sugar milk because dairy's got a bunch of sugar in it too. You probably use almond milk for your cereal.
Yeah, I drink almond milk. And to be honest, because I can't really get away with drinking regular milk.
Yeah, that's true.
I will just light up the vicinity with my intestine.
Right. People will be smelling the walls of your rectum.
Yeah. Anyways. Oh, hey, speaking of my rectum.
I knew it was going to happen. Last episode was all piss shit.
I know. And you know what?
We were on politics. We were on fucking all kinds of different schools of thought and media and representations of race in America. And
that's what you fucking get on LTYF.
Let's get into your fucking rectum, bro. I'm trying to
and like I said on the last...
get in that ass, Larry.
Yeah, I mean... on the last episode, I did say we weren't going to talk about shit all the time. But this is out of my hands.
But we are.
This right here is totally out of my hands.
Is it Florida Man this time?
No, this is me, man.
This is you.
This is about me.
This is a real victim. Okay.
So the other day, so I've been having stomach problems, for like months.
That shit sucks.
And I'm not sure what's going on with it. I assumed it was like from all the fucking energy drinks I've drank throughout my life.
Yeah.
I've had at least one a day since I was around 14.
You have a hole in your stomach then.
I mean, it could be, but the other day I went to the doctor for this, and I had no idea that by the end of it, I was gonna have to go home with a plastic plate and shit into this plate.
Oh man, you gotta bring him a stool.
Scoop
sample?
it out with a popsicle stick that they gave me. Okay. It wasn't from a popsicle. They provided
you with a popsicle.
There's like, hold on, I'm almost done with this popsicle. Here you go.
Fudgesicle now.
And oh damn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Low hanging fruit.
That was good though. They're like, yeah, just scoop out like an acorn size of shit.
That what he said?
No, but
okay. I was like, this guy's thought this out. He's like, how much should I tell him to bring me? An acorn sounds
about an acorn. And
he's like, I tried potato, but no one could bring me that much.
Oh God. Well, you know what's crazy is I had well over a potato.
Yeah.
It felt like a waste. Yeah. But then I had to put it into this plastic cylinder. It was sort of looked like a pill bottle.
Yeah.
And then put it into a plastic zipped Ziploc bag.
All I can think of is that scene from that movie with Zach Galifianakis. What movie was that? Out Cold, where they're like, go to the bathroom in the cup. And the guy
he comes
brings
back,
the turd back in the cup.
That's what I thought of that. Yeah. That's what it felt like.
Anyway, you put it in a Ziploc bag.
And then I had to put it into a big ass, like a huge brown paper, like a grocery size brown paper bag that they gave me.
And then put it in a cooler. And
they're like, give this to us as soon as possible. And if you're going to give it to us, you have to do it within 8 hours of doing it.
Yeah.
So, like, if you decide to shit into this thing, you got to hustle to us.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, okay. Damn. Like, I'm
really... This is a lot of pressure for poop.
It was a lot of pressure. I mean, because I've never done anything like that before.
No,
and
I have once.
Did you?
Remember that time me and Nat took a shit in paper bags outside of, I don't know, we were hanging out in the neighborhood one time.
Oh, you did this for fun, though.
Yeah, it was just for fun. We were just out.
See, it's a little different when
it's out being
required
crazy kids.
of you.
I was like a teenager or something, and I was just like, I'm going to shit in this paper bag. I think maybe we were going to light it on fire and put it on someone's doorstep.
Don't put it out with your boots, Ted.
I think that was the plan. I don't know if we ever got that far. I think I just pooped in a bag for no reason.
You called the shit poop.
We can cut this out. It's fine.
We won't. Yeah, we'll leave it in. But so anyways,
you should have called me, man. I had experience. I could have helped you through this pressure.
I didn't even think to phone a friend.
Yeah.
Like I didn't. I was just like very.
Who do I know that would know how to deal with the poop in a bag situation?
Okay, so I drive to the hospital with this bag of shit in my passenger seat next to me.
Did you draw a face on the paper bag?
I thought about writing "not poop" just on the bag.
Or just dead bird, do not eat.
Yeah.
Just poop, do not eat.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I expected.
This is poop, but it's not my poop. It's someone else's poop.
Yeah.
This is for a friend.
Anyway, it's for sure poop.
So, anyways, I drive to the hospital and I pull into the parking lot and I literally try to work up the courage to walk in there with this sack of shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh man,
20 minutes goes by and I'm like, all right, dude, just fucking go in there and do it. It's a hospital. This is a serious thing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And I walk in there and I walk up to the desk and every single person behind the desk is like a 20-year-old girl. And I'm like, dude, I don't know why, but this makes it worse.
Gonna happen. I knew
this just makes it worse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, man. So if I have something for the lab, where do I hand it in? And she was like, oh, you have a specimen for us? You just sign in on this iPad over here and just wait. And I was like, oh, okay.
You're so like, you guys better hurry because we only got a few more hours left.
Yeah, I was like, I thought like I could just put this on the desk in front of you and just walk out. And you know what to do with it.
Put it in a window and then turn the glass over to them so they can.
I think when someone walks in here with a brown paper bag, you know what it is. Yeah. You know they're carrying shit in that sack.
They know. It's a specimen to them, but yeah, they know it's in there.
And of course, she said it super loud.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, God, you didn't have to say it that loud. I'm guessing.
You have a specimen for us.
I'm guessing everyone in the lobby knew what was in the sack.
Yeah.
I was trying not to think about that, but anyways, I have to wait, and I ended up waiting like 20 minutes. Handed it to him, and it was over.
You're just like, well, it's cold now.
I know. I was like, God, I had it all hot and ready for you guys.
You're like, I dropped this in the parking lot.
I was just sitting there with a brown sack of shit in the lobby of a hospital, waiting. This is just on my phone, looking at Imager and Reddit. I'm just sitting there with a brown paper bag that's not full of shit.
You're civilized, man. That's as civilized as it gets.
I mean, I just accepted it, and I'm waiting for a call.
Oh man, I'm not gonna tell it on this episode. I'll tell it on another one. But I have a great shit story that also involves me being embarrassed because I'm dealing with shit in front of cute girls. When I was a teenager, it was
really?
Yeah, it's hilarious and sad to me. So, but yeah, it's pretty funny. I'll tell it next time.
And
there's not enough time to get into it today, but it's a good one.
That is just a situation that you don't expect to ever be in.
Yeah, I find this story fucking hilarious. It's so funny to me, but it also like involves my dying father. So it's like it's sad in the way, but I don't want people to feel sad when they hear it. I want people to be able to laugh at it because it's a really funny situation and a funny story, and I think it could be very tastefully done in like a comedy movie. Like it's definitely a story that like a skit that could be really funny.
Okay. Well, Vince, I mean,
I'm hyping this up big time, and next time I'm gonna tell it, and it's gonna be like super not funny.
Well, I was gonna say, are you sure you want to wait? Do we want to get all of our shit related things out now?
No, there's got to be one every episode.
Okay, well, we'll try.
Really. But yeah, I do want to tell it next time. I want to practice and. Because I haven't told it in a long time. I want to remember all the gory details.
As soon as I'm probably gonna buy a cam so we can upload our videos to YouTube for the podcast, and
I'm gonna buy another mic, like I've said for the past like month and a half, and bought one.
We'll get another friend on here with us.
Have a special guest on the episode. I want my brother on at least once. I really want to get him on. Get Daniel on here. Tyler would be hilarious to have.
Oh, for sure. That's the thing is. Listen to your friends.
Funny thing about Tyler is, and I know he'll respect this, is he has the strength of 10,000 lions. He has so much strength in his body. I call him
physically.
I call him Strength Gibson. Yeah,
I had no idea about this.
Yeah, he's got the strength of 10,000 lions.
Is this an inside joke for you with you guys?
He'll know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, when I start uploading the videos, maybe on one of the episodes we can take a shit on camera.
God damn it! No, I'm not gonna condone that. You're out of your
Okay,
mind.
we
Maybe
probably
we
won't
can
do that.
video Bodie doing it. Your little boy over here, little Aussie Shepherd.
Well,
Bodie's
he's
a
so
little
cute,
mini Aussie
especially
Shepherd.
when he poops.
He's a
He's
really
cute.
good boy,
He's
yeah.
adorable.
Yeah. Dropping dukes in the road, Bodie. We're going to get you on video. You on candid camera now.
Wow.
I don't know where that came from.
He is
Remember
scared.
Scary Movie, though? That was a great movie.
Oh, one last thing. So I read on Reddit that Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Tom Hanks have regular colonoscopy parties.
I read that, too.
Where they prep together overnight and share one car on the ride to their colonoscopies. That's fucking awesome.
That is hilarious to me.
They're like,
That's
all
really
right,
funny.
you know the drill. This is what we do.
Come on, boys.
I
They're
just picture
like,
them in jammy jams,
I know, me
just
too,
like
the
hanging
night before
out.
with like the little toe spreaders in their toes and curlers in their hair and just like reading People magazine stories about themselves to each other.
In a colonoscopy, what exactly happens?
I think they put a camera in your ass, maybe,
Okay.
or maybe they put something in your ass and take a sample of your colon. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but they I don't know. It's pretty invasive procedure though. There's stuff in your butt. So
That sounds like something if you were about to have that happen to you. That sounds like something you'd like to have some buds around with
for
you
sure.
for support.
It's like that's like one of our things as a guy that like I don't know. Do women get colonoscopies?
I think they have colons.
I think they do too.
I don't know all the ins and outs of a woman's body, but
Right.
I'm
I
assuming.
hope they've got one of those. They don't poop as far as I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do girls poop?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they got a Kim Jong-un situation going on.
Yeah.
Their bodies are super efficient. That's funny. Jennifer and I just shit right in front of each other.
Really?
No problem. All the time. Door open. Yeah, we have one
That's something
we
I
have
can't
one
do that.
bathroom and it's pretty small and she needs to get ready while I'm getting my waist going from the day before in the morning and we don't care.
That's cool.
Yeah, to us it's just is what it is. So it's super helpful, I feel like, because we don't that way there's no embarrassment about it and we're not trying to hold our farts in and hurt our stomachs and we're not trying to like schedule our bathroom time where she's not going to smell my poop or I'm not going to smell her poop, and it's just makes it so much easier to not have to worry about that, to just be able to be there on Reddit just on the throne while my queen
that's
is
beautiful.
getting ready. Yeah.
It really is. That's like true partnership right there.
Right.
And understanding of
I just can't imagine having to hold my farts in front of that would be so rough.
I'm really like smell sensitive.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Dude, Jarvis has a lot of shit.
I
to
know.
say
He's had it rough since Iron Man ended.
Ooh.
But got him. But yeah, that's still something that I'm yet to be comfortable with.
You'll get
Is
there, man.
pooping.
That's weird to me because I feel like your mom never closed the door.
She
to pee or
didn't.
poop ever her whole life.
She didn't.
I figured you would have just been super comfortable with that. by
Well,
now.
actually, my whole life, I've for some reason, I don't even know why, but I have always left the door open when I go pee.
Yeah, I do that too. Sometimes I just forget and just leave it open.
Because I feel like it's like nothing.
Yeah. Well, and we in public restrooms, we pee at urinals. Like everyone watches us pee all the time, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm facing away from the door. Anyway, it's not like there's anything anyone can see. But then sometimes I still get self-conscious if I'm somewhere with people around or I know people can hear my pee hitting the water.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, pee on the side of the bowl so it doesn't splash so no one hears you.
I do that.
So they don't know what you're doing in there. So what do I want them to think I'm doing in there, I guess? Is
You know
these
what's weird?
irrational thoughts I have. It was just like, oh, they hear my pee hitting the water. They know I'm peeing, but what do I want them to think I'm doing other than peeing?
I definitely have pee shyness.
Yeah.
Like
Which is
it's
crazy 'cause you
impossible
got
for me
fire
to.
hose.
Yeah, well, it's impossible for me to pee shoulder to shoulder
Dude,
with
I
someone.
can't do it either.
Like it just won't
it's
come
funny.
out.
Jennifer and I were at the mall recently, and I had to pee, and I went into the bathroom, and she went to the bathroom, and I'm standing there between two dudes, and I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't get it out. Stand there for a few minutes, and finally I just walk out of the bathroom, and Jennifer's like, "You ready to go?" I'm like, "I didn't pee." Like, let's go home. I was like, I can't do it. I just can't get it out. I don't know why.
And
pee shyness is real, man.
it has to do with anxiety.
Yeah.
Because even when I'm by myself, sometimes like if I am anxious about something, I have a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, I feel that. Me too.
And there's even times where like I'm home by myself
Yeah.
but I'm anxious for some reason, or I have some anxiety going
freaking
on.
myself out about nothing, or about something that happened years ago, or something I haven't
Whatever,
done
anything,
that I feel like I need to do. Yeah.
But I'll go to the bathroom to go pee, and because of my anxiety, my pee won't release.
Yeah.
My anxiety is like trapping it in and won't, like, I can't relax enough to let it out. Yeah. And sometimes I'll stand in front of the toilet, maybe 3 to 5 minutes before it comes out sometimes. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Man. That's a
like,
long
I don't
time.
even have complete control over my own body.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I feel
like,
that. That's a long time. I have that exact issue sometimes where I just can't, like, I feel like I need to pee, but I'm like holding it, and I'm not trying to, but I'm holding it. And I'm like, let yourself pee, but I can't relax enough to do it. But 3 to 5 minutes is quite a while. You might want to.
Well, I might be exaggerating.
You might want to get your prostate checked out, because I've heard that's a issue. I learned that from Zoolander, actually.
Really?
When Maury Ballstein's trying to pee, and he's going, "Come on, just give us a little tinkle."
Oh yeah.
He's like, "My prostate's flaring up like a honeydew." I think, yeah.
Then a little drop.
Yeah, if you're,
baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, if your prostate is inflamed or it has issues, I think it can keep you from being able to pee. So I like to have that hypochondriac thing in me where
I do for sure.
If I feel like my heart skip a beat or my heart beats irregularly, boom, I'm having a fucking heart attack.
Oh,
if I have a headache, I'm having a stroke. I'm having an aneurysm.
Yeah,
or
if I smell burnt toast.
Yeah, I'm
for real. Anytime I smell burnt toast or something that smells burnt,
you got 911 queued up.
Yeah. But I actually got a EKG test done.
Oh, really?
A little while ago.
To just test your heart rate and everything?
Yeah. That was a weird situation too.
Are you good?
Actually, they said my heart's like better than good.
Really?
Which completely surprised me though, because
bro.
But I was for sure that my heart wasn't doing so good.
No way.
I mean, I
just drank too much caffeine. Your heart's fine.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. It would help me. It would help my anxiety to hear it, but I still probably would be afraid I was having a heart attack every time my left arm got sore.
Yeah, right. But I think that happens when you have anxiety.
Fucking, I don't know why I just...
Oh, boy.
Speaking of all this heart attack shit, I don't know if I've been talking about it a lot. I feel like I don't bring it up.
I mean, I don't know what it is.
I don't talk about the fact that I'm afraid I'm gonna have a heart attack and stuff because I know I have hypochondriac tendencies.
Yeah.
So, when I get a headache and I'm like, I'm having an aneurysm, I don't just start telling everybody, I think I'm having an aneurysm,
You internalize
I think I might be having a heart attack. But motherfucking internet ads keep popping up for me that say 5 signs you're about to have a heart attack.
Yep.
4 signs you're close to dying from a stroke. And then it shows like a fucking picture of like a leg with like someone that's been wearing too tight of a sock for too long. So like you can see the sock marks where it cut off and then, like the leg is all like swollen above. And it's like that's supposedly a sign of a
You're just like, I have that right now.
I'm just like the fucking I don't know what I'm just saying the internet in quotations, but like Reddit and Google and Yahoo and Twitch are like the only websites I really use. And then I have my iPhone, so I don't know what is recording me, what is listening to my fucking thoughts and knows I'm afraid of having a heart attack or why, but they're targeting ads to me for fear of heart attacks. And I'm like, that's my own personal fucking thoughts and dreams and fears, and you're targeting advertisements to me based on them. Like,
I mean, that's a very strong method of advertising, though, is fear-based.
But there was recently a case about Facebook, like they got in trouble for the way that they were targeting youth sell to make money. And like some of the information had like Congress or the Supreme Court, I think it was the Supreme Court, judged or they ruled that it needed to be sealed from the public. Like we can't, because it would cause too much unrest. Mm-hmm. The public knowing the information would cause civil unrest or people to unnecessarily fear information or Facebook or the government or whatever. But people were speculating that they know how, like they actually have figured out how to influence people's, like they understand that social media, Instagram, Facebook, the way people interact sometimes makes people depressed, causes anxiety, social anxiety, depression, feeling like they're not matching up to their peers, things like that.
For sure.
And so they actually tailor your social media experience towards making you feel those feelings of anxiety or fear or self-loathing in order to sell you products. So what you see on your news feed is actually tailored to you. If you're friends with girls who do makeup tutorials or like are constantly posting pictures of themselves in their bikinis, you're a teenage girl, your feed is going to put those posts in your face and show you less often posts from like your family members or people who are just posting about benign things or whatever else that isn't going to target your demographic specifically.
Yeah.
So they're actually have figured out ways to use social media and use the information that is shared with you to give you anxiety, to make you feel depressed, to make you feel bad about yourself, or to even make you feel confident in certain areas. They're actually using it to influence what you buy.
Well, yeah,
it's using it as mind control. And young minds are so vulnerable, and when you have
there's like soft
when you
dough.
have this many smart ass people working for a company that makes that much money, like Facebook and Google, the people that work for those companies are smart. They know a lot about the human condition, about psychology, about technology.
Well, advertising is all psychology.
Yeah, and so they are smarter than the consumers. They're smarter than the people using. So if it's it freaked me out at first and surprised me that they actually know how to influence the way people feel just by what information they show them on their news feed or on their Instagram or whatever, or what is more likely to pop up on their Google searches. But then again, when I thought about it more, I was like, of course they know how to do that. They've been studying this shit. They've been studying us using the internet for decades now.
Yeah. I mean, since day one, they've been racking up the information.
They just have profiles built on, they just know exactly how people are going to react to information. And we don't even know. I don't even know how I'm going to react. Google knows better how I will react to a certain stimulus than I do.
You think so?
Probably. Not like a specific employee at Google, not like Google in quotations knows. Now you got me using fucking quotations.
I mean, when you can't see us doing the thing, you got to say it.
I have to say quotations.
Yeah.
There else no one knows.
I mean, we'll deal with it later.
But yeah, I think that their profile of data that they have built on me, if someone were to compile it and actually build a file on me, I think I would be surprised at some of the stuff that they know about me. I think some of the information I'd be like, wow, I do, I am that way. I do have those tendencies, and I didn't even realize that you could discern that based on the movies I watched or the YouTube videos I searched for, or the music I listened to. But once you if you look at all this data in a certain way, or you view it from a certain light, there might be things, because psychology is all about understanding ourselves and our motivations. And I don't think I, myself included, most people don't always understand why we act the way we act.
To be honest, I'm not surprised at all that they do that, or it's that refined and that good. I'm not surprised at all.
Controlling us,
especially when you live in a society where almost the most important thing is consuming.
Yeah,
and it's true. You do get a bit of a high when you buy stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Especially when you buy stuff that you really want.
Yeah.
Or you feel really good about.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good. And especially if you feel down on yourself and you like to buy things, you're going to buy things just because you're feeling down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Or if you're feeling good, you'll be like, let's buy some shit.
Shit, I'm that way about fast food, or really restaurant food or takeout food. I'm just I'm feeling down. I didn't really eat that much today. Some really good food is going to be great. It's going to make me feel
sure.
I'm going to feel better about my day. I'm going to feel like I'm experiencing something that's making me happy. And then also when I'm feeling really good, or I just got something accomplished, or I did all the things I wanted to do that day, it's like, oh, I'm going to reward myself with some delicious food.
I mean,
it's I have such an unhealthy view and mindset towards food and towards consumption of that type of specific thing. That's my vice. That's my demon that I'm struggling with, and
food.
My mindset towards it. Like I said, I think it's unhealthy for me to view eating unhealthy food, which of course double cheeseburgers are delicious, French fries are delicious, but
it's got twice the cheese,
right? But it's unhealthy for me. But I view it as a reward for myself, or I view it as a pick-me-up, and both of those views of it, I think, are it's okay to view it as a reward sometimes, to have dessert at the end of the night, that's okay, but you have to view it as in moderation. I can't I can't reward myself with cheeseburgers every time I fucking do what I'm supposed to do. Like,
but like you said, it makes you feel like you're experiencing something, and I totally agree with that.
That's the whole consumerism culture. Like, that's for me. Like, that's my end of it. But a lot of people, like you said, retail or buying things, or the next CD, getting the next
what's a CD?
Pair of shoes. Yeah, I don't know why I just said that. A CD was in 1999.
CD-ROM.
I gotta get the next new album. Well, I guess records are making a comeback. But anyway, that's the moral, I guess, of the podcast is go buy a bunch of shit if you feel down.
I mean, if it really does make you feel good, then I'd say go for it. Yeah. But like you said, moderation.
Yeah, and if you don't like that about yourself, if you don't like that's your mindset, and that's okay if that is your mindset towards buying new clothes or buying a new item, if that's your reward to yourself and it helps you feel like you're independent, you worked hard for your money, you have extra money to spend on yourself, it feels good to buy that's more power to you. But if you're someone who is living outside their means or is trying to buy something that they really can't afford, but that's
something that I just don't ever feel like is a problem for me, is like spending money that I don't have.
Right.
I just like it takes a lot for me to even pull the trigger on certain things,
right?
Like with money.
You're gonna use
even if I know I can afford it, I'm just like, what else could I use this money for?
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. See,
I almost feel guilty.
I'm financially irresponsible to the max.
Really?
Yeah, it's bad. I don't spend money I don't have, but I definitely spend all the money I have.
Well, yeah.
I don't save a fucking dime.
I don't have a credit card, so when I say money I don't have.
At least I'm not in debt. I know a lot of people that seem like they have money, but they're in debt. And I am a little bit in student loan debt, but I'm paying it off, and it'll be paid off soon, and I'll be out. And
I heard that
I'm paycheck to paycheck, but
I heard that Natty Ice is helping with their student loans.
That's what's up. They know their audience.
They know
their target
See, that's
audience.
Advertising.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys in the boardroom that fucking came to that conclusion.
And
because they're smart, see?
How many college students, because of that, even if they don't even fucking like Natty Ice, they're going to be like, party tonight, yeah, fucking Natty Ice, like helping me out. Yeah,
right.
Just wear allegiance to Natty Ice.
See, this is why we need
become
Bernie
an alcoholic.
Sanders, 2020 Bernie, make college tuition free, all public college.
God, could you imagine?
Tuition free. I would be a little upset that college wasn't free for me. I guess I could still go. Maybe, I don't know. Would they still take me to college if I could?
For sure.
For free? I don't know. I guess I just always think my ship has sailed. They're going to make college free, but only if you graduate high school 2020, 2021 and after.
Maybe. Could be.
That'd be kind of fucked up. But who knows? But I'll still be happy no matter what. Even if they make it free to the next generation after me, that's great. I'm not going to be not going to be mad that people get free school just because I didn't. Like, that's ridiculous.
I read about a kid who got stem cell treatment.
I heard about that too. Yeah.
Paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah, and he gained upper body control. He can actually.
And I read that and I was like, yes. Yeah. I was like, that's awesome. And then the other half of me was like, but fuck them for not doing this all along.
For real.
You know what I mean? How many people have come and gone without stem cell treatment just because regulation or rules?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Or religious belief.
Exactly.
That we're gonna be harvesting babies to make stem cells. People standing in the way of scientific and human progress because of their own beliefs or their own prejudices is insufferable to me. I can't. That's one thing that just really gets my chain rattled up. What the fuck am I saying? That's not a saying. Gets my chain rattled up.
I'll
come up with something.
I totally got what you were saying.
It's true.
You don't want your chain to be rattled up. You want it to be straight and loose.
Right.
So that I can do chain work.
I feel better about the analogy already.
Yeah.
I'm running short on time here, though. I hate to be the.
Do we want to close it out?
That cuts it off. Yeah, but.
I mean, it's okay to have a short one. We can always do another one.
I think we had some good content, even if it was short. So
yeah,
I tried to keep the likes down to a minimum. I don't know.
I think we did pretty good this time.
Up, but I think we did pretty good for a while.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Thanks
anyways,
for another episode, man.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it again next weekend.
Yeah.
Do my best to have a new one every weekend, but every once in a while, maybe I'll get another one done during the week sometime.
Yeah.
But yeah, LTYF. Listen to your friends. Episode number 2. This has been fun. Hope y'all, liked what we said.
Yeah, had learned something. Maybe agreed with us, disagreed. Who knows?
Or maybe
hopefully you got a little laugh out of it. I got a couple.
Maybe you
chuckles.
laughed. Maybe you cried. I just want you to feel something.
Yeah.
Like you feel when you're eating fast food. Maybe this podcast is like fast food.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Anyways, listen to your friends.
LTYF episode 2.
This is Justin Burt
and Vince Davila.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.